How's it going, everyone? It's Harvey from Weather Sponge 1000. Today is February 28, 2022. As of today, we're going to focus on the next major weather pattern change that's going to occur throughout the entire lower 48, where we're going to see temperatures up to 30 degrees above average in some locations, as well as temperatures well below average around the west coast, where many areas along the west coast could experience some snow, especially in the higher elevations, and this could move on to the northern Midwest later during the week. But before I begin, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content, as it will be greatly appreciated. As now, let's take a look at the current temperatures throughout the United States, and you see that throughout the Midwest, we're seeing temperatures right around the 50s. So we're seeing temperatures slightly above average right now throughout the mid portion of the Midwest. By the way, it's around 8 p.m. It's approaching 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. These are the current temperatures at this time, and you see that we're seeing temperatures right around the 50s, which is slightly above average. If we take a look at the Northeast, you see that temperatures are below average, where we see temperatures not even reach the double digits in some locations in the extreme northern portion of the Northeast. And this is, of course, as a direct result of this past snowstorm bringing somewhat of a stronger northwesterly flow, bringing that cooler Arctic air for southward into the Northeast. However, as this ridge that's currently located right around this area right around the Southwest United States, as this moves eastward, we're going to see temperatures warm up in the Northeast as well. As you could probably tell that the ridge is located right around this specific region, because look at the temperatures right around the southwestern portion of the United States. We're seeing temperatures in the 70s and 80s right around Southern California, which is slightly above average, as we're seeing just enough of a strong southerly flow bringing those temperatures much warmer than average, and it should continue for the next couple of days before we see a major cool down for a lot of the western portion of the United States. But now let me show you guys what the GFS model is currently forecasting this week when it comes to weather. So you see that we're seeing somewhat of a noticeable jet stream dip throughout the northeastern portion of the United States. However, I do expect this jet stream dip to sort of plateau and straighten out to a point where we will see more warm air intrude the Northeast, as well as the northern portions of the Great Lakes. So for the most part, a lot of the Northeast should be well above average. As you see that there's a ridge I was talking to you guys about just now that's bringing much warmer than average temperatures throughout the western portion of the United States. This is going to move eastward, and we're going to see a ridge develop right around the southeast, where we should see temperatures rebound a little bit throughout the Northeast, where we do see the jet stream straighten out just a bit to where you guys in the Northeast might experience above average temperatures headed into later this week, into the midweek to late week, approaching March. So that's definitely a pattern change we're going to keep in mind. But you see that the jet stream, this jet stream ridge is a lot more pronounced right around the southwestern portion of the Midwest, of course, where the strongest of the ridge is located. We're still seeing somewhat of an effect from low pressure systems moving through, where we're seeing just enough of a strong northerly flow that's preventing the warm air from going all the way northward. We need to see how far southward these troughs move to really determine how much warm air will approach the Northeast. However, I will say with certainty that most of the Midwest should experience well above average temperatures. If we were to take a look at temperature anomalies throughout the United States, this is how it looks right now. Like I said, look at the temperatures throughout the Northeast well below average for this time of the year, as we're seeing a stronger than usual northwesterly flow associated with this low pressure system. So as a result, we're seeing temperatures cooler than average, but that's going to change as this ridge continues to build throughout the United States and move eastward, where at times we could see temperatures approach maybe 30 degrees above average right around the central portion of the Midwest. And you see that a lot of the West Coast is experiencing temperatures well above average as well. And this extends along the East Coast as well, where temperatures are above average, where a large portion of the United States is just under very warm temperatures. It's going to feel very spring-like. So those who are into spring, this is definitely something to get excited about, especially since we're approaching March. Winter is almost over, guys. So it's definitely something to enjoy some early warmth this time of the year headed into to begin March, which is definitely something welcome to see. Where again we see temperatures close to 30, if not over 30 degrees above average, based on what the GFS model is forecasting right around the Wednesday time frame. And you see that a lot of the East Coast as well is experiencing temperatures slightly above average by, I'd say, the Wednesday time frame, and the West Coast pretty much for the next 48 hours will experience temperatures well above average. But the well above average temperatures should maximize, I'd say, by midweek, head into tomorrow and Wednesday. And then we will see a cool down right around Thursday for a lot of the northern Midwest as well as the Northeast, because like I said, we're going to see a multitude of troughs move through just north of the Canadian border, where it's going to bring just enough of a strong northwesterly flow to bring those temperatures back down to earth throughout the northern United States, and not only back down to earth but cooler than average, where again in the Northeast we experience cooler than average temperatures once again. But you see that the warmth stays throughout the Midwest as head into late week. So the Midwest should definitely enjoy for some much warmer than average temperatures. And however, it won't last as long throughout the West Coast, because we're going to see a trough develop and move through the West Coast, where it's going to bring a strong northwesterly flow. If I were to show you guys the precipitation map, or the surface map, you see that we're going to see this trough come off the Pacific Northwest coast, and you see that it's going to bring a strong northwesterly flow where we could see some snow in the higher elevations, and that definitely should cool things down along the West Coast head into this weekend, Friday into Saturday. And then eventually we should see things cool down, I'd say, for the central portion of the Midwest, I'd say right around the Saturday time frame. So this warmth won't last permanently. Of course, we're going to see that cool down begin, and we're going to see a multitude of troughs bring down a strong northwesterly flow to cool down temperatures all throughout the United States. But still, for the most part, should be much warmer than average for the United States. But watch out for this weekend, because that's when we should see a big cool down throughout the entirety of the United States. So make sure to keep that in mind throughout the United States in general, that these spring-like temperatures won't last for long. So make sure to enjoy it this week before we do begin to see the cool down by this weekend, where again we see temperatures drop down below freezing at times, especially during the evening hours. So make sure to keep that in mind when it comes to temperature. And in terms of what the European model is saying, it's pretty much forecasting the same thing. At this point, we're seeing temperatures we're going to see temperatures well above average for the next week, and we should see temperatures cool down, like I said, right around this weekend, where we will see a significant jet stream dip as a result of a trough moving through and a snowstorm moving through the northern Midwest. So make sure to pay close attention to that. Now, in terms of precipitation, because that's also a concern with this, head into the month of March, you see that we're going to see a trough come off the Pacific Northwest coast, bring snow to higher elevations. But not only that, we're going to see a snowstorm develop as a result of the strong amount of instability, because of course we're going to see this long duration event when it comes to warm air, and then when you bring a cooler air mass to interact with it, it's just asking for some sort of low pressure system to develop and gradually intensify into potentially a snowstorm, which is exactly what happens head into this weekend, where we do see some snow and heavy snow at times throughout the Dakotas and extending to Minnesota as well. Now, there's still uncertainty with this storm depending on where this jet stream positions itself, and even if the GFS model or the European model's case is correct, it wouldn't affect a large amount of people, but it's at least something to be aware of as well in the northern Midwest, because you could see a snowstorm by this weekend. And if we were to take a look at what the GFS model is forecasting, the GFS model is forecasting a very similar scenario where we're seeing a snow, but heavier amount of snow throughout the northern Midwest. So I'd say the confidence is definitely high for a northern Midwest snowstorm into this weekend. It really all depends on how strong the low pressure system will be. The exact projected path of this low pressure system will really determine who gets heaviest snowfall. So that's definitely something we're going to need to pay close attention to over next week. Again, really all depends on how strong this ridge is, because if it's a little stronger, then we're more likely to see this low pressure system take a more northward track. But if this ridge that's bringing much warmer than average temperatures throughout the United States is a bit weaker, then we're more likely to see a southern track. So definitely something we're going to need to pay very close attention to over the next couple of days. So make sure to be aware of that throughout the northern United States. But outside of that, you should just worry about much warmer than average temperatures throughout the United States, or not even worry. Just maybe enjoy the warmer than average temperatures throughout the United States, because I'm sure it's been a long winter for a lot of you guys, and a lot of you guys do prefer the warmth. So make sure to enjoy it this week, as we should see our first spring temperatures throughout the United States entering the month of March. Now, let me show you guys my forecast when it comes to the temperature anomalies for this week. So in the areas shaded in dark red, you should experience temperatures 20 degrees above average. And just outside of that, you should experience temperatures over 10 degrees above average, right around the teens for the most part this week. And above average temperatures in the orange, but they won't be as strong as, let's say, throughout the central Midwest, where you could experience temperatures up to 30 degrees above average at times, which could be record breaking. So make sure to enjoy it throughout the United States, as it is going to be very warm weather. But along the West Coast, while it will be warm to start the week, you need to pay attention that a major cool down is coming into late week. I'd say about Thursday to Friday time frame, where you could see snow in the higher elevation. So make sure to keep that in mind as well throughout the West Coast. But yeah, guys, I guess that's it for this video. I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video. Make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content. And I hope you guys have a great day.